would you think if you were running Pfizer today and seeing the Hillary Clinton tweet that punished the biotech sector, and I'm not sure it's ever recovered since, Bernie Sanders, and now President Trump, who is arguably more pro-capitalist and more pro-competition, but still also complaining about the pricing of drugs?
Well, there's an education job to be done with the new administration. I think what the president will come to understand is the pharmaceutical industry and the medical technology industry and innovators like ViewRay are leading the world. 90% or more of new medical technology and new pharmaceutical products come from the United States. This is not an industry we need to make great again. It is great already.
But people who need those drugs will say, why are they so expensive? Something that saves lives should not be so costly, right? You run up against those moral arguments. How do you fight back against that?
Well, there's two things people need to understand. One is how long it takes to get drugs to market, 12 to 15 years. There's patients dying waiting for new therapy, and they're obviously upset. And prices are expensive. And prices are expensive because research is expensive. $2 to $4 billion over this 12 to 15 year period. So there's one thing I've been advocating for a while that I think this administration should take a hard look at, is you spend $2 to $4 billion, your product is finally approved, such as the new ViewRay technology, and then you have maybe 10 years left on the patent life. So you have to recover that expense over 10 years. If the patent ran from the date of approval, two things would happen. We'd see an explosion in medical technology like we've never seen before, and prices would come down.
Prices would come down.
Absolutely, because you have 20
because you have a
years.
longer time to recoup the cost.
20 years to recover the cost,
as
and
opposed
hopefully
to
making a profit.
10 or however long it is.
It's a very difficult business when you only have 10 years.
So when you're talking about 10 to 12 years for approval for a drug or a device, do you think that the problem is in the FDA? I mean, the administration seems to think that the FDA is a holdup, and if you sped up the process of approval, that it could greatly facilitate things.
Well, of the 12 to 15 years, maybe 3 is the FDA review period. In fact, their review for medical devices is 90 days. And for most pharmaceuticals, it's less than a year. So one thing we should do is, we clearly have more government than we need or we can afford, so the reduction of the size of the government is important. But we should make sure the FDA has the resources they need to do their job.
President Trump also said something very interesting when it comes to drug pricing. He says, other countries treat us very poorly. And I think he's referencing the fact that in many advanced economies, they get discount drugs. They don't want to pay for R&D. They have price controls, and we, the United States, are left as the only country paying for R&D. Have we ever been aggressive enough when it comes to the WTO, et cetera, to say that's not fair?
Well, it's not fair. And I've long said that other countries are treating us badly. They're basically free riding on American research. But you know, the headline is one thing, the facts are another. The facts in the pharmaceutical industry is we have a free competitive market. So some payers pay high prices, some payers pay low prices. In the United States, all the way down to zero, whereas in some of the compassionate use and some of the Veterans Administration pricing, for example, other countries, the price is set by government and it's one price. So if you look at just the manufacturer's top price, sure, it's markedly different country to country, but it's markedly different within the United States as well. There's significant discounting of drugs in the United States.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.